Alright, thanks for tuning in today. Wanted to make a comment about a White House video I saw today. Wanted to get some reactions on what you thought about it.
And Doctor, wouldn't you say there's a good chance that COVID will not come back?
We don't
And
know.
or if it comes back, it's in a very small confined area that we put out.
Well, the great thing is we'll be able to find it earlier this time. And I think that's what we're talking about. We'll find those cases earlier. So what Dr. Redfield said, we would be able to stay in containment phase. And what we're also hoping, and we talked about this about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that we're hoping that the flu infections also go down because people are much more aware of respiratory illnesses and how to protect themselves.
Alright, here's the really important part. Pay very close attention to what this woman says right here.
I want you to get your vaccine, but we also want you to get your vaccine. I want you to get your vaccine. I want you to get your vaccine. I want you to get your vaccine.
I sure as heck hope you understand the implications of that.
Want to also protect individuals from getting the flu because of the vulnerability we know in certain populations to flu and the devastating outcomes to flu. We could prevent and decrease both of those things. So I think we are assured that the CDC is putting in place today what we are going to need in the fall.
Did you miss that part? Let me play that back for you too.
What we are going to need in the fall. What we are going to need in the fall. What we are going to need in the fall so that we can stay in containment if potentially the virus comes back.
No, you nitwit, the virus isn't going to come back in the fall, you stupid. It's here, and it's gonna be here for the duration, and that's how cold and flu season works. What's wrong with these people?
And if it comes back, though, it won't be coming back in the form that it was. It will be coming back in smaller doses that we can contain. But
oh, what the actual fuck, Trump. Coming back in smaller doses? I mean, are you reading from a teleprompter, or, I mean, is something piped into your ear? I mean, it's like, even you don't even understand what the hell is coming out of your mouth. Please, just level with us. What the hell is going on for real?
The doctor was saying, and I spoke to him at great length, he was saying if it should come back together, now you have a flu and you have the embers of corona. But in my opinion, from everything I've seen, it can never be like anything that we've witnessed right now. Would you say that's the correct statement?
Absolutely.
Oh, and of course, you have to have your little echo squire telling you, yep, that's what's going on. Yip, 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 from
It's nothing like what we're talking about. What we've just gone through, we will not go through. You could have some embers of corona and you could have a big flu system. And if they combine, if they come together, it's not great, but we will not go through what we went through for the last 2 months.
Mr.
President,
Is that a correct statement?
I understand that the United States will certainly be more prepared in the fall, but how can you say that you know it won't come back in the same level that it has today?
What it is estimated, it might not come back at all, Jeff. It might not come back at all, Jeff. Might not come back at all, Jeff. Might not come back at all, Jeff. Back at all. He's talking about a worst case scenario where you have a big flu and you have some corona. And if it does come back, it's not going to come back. And I've spoken to 10 different people. Not going to be like it was. Also, we have much better containment now. Before, nobody knew about it. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody knew anything about it.
You don't say, Father Trump. We didn't know anything about it. No, I didn't notice being forced to stay in my stupid house for over the past month. No, my family didn't notice that. No, the whole entire American population of the world didn't know that. Nah, nobody noticed that.
Understand it. Now, if we have pockets, a little pocket here, then we're going to have it put out. It goes out, and it's going to go out fast. We're going to be watching for it. But it's all possible. It's also possible it doesn't come back at all.
I understand the containment, but I don't understand how you know it won't come back on a big scale.
I didn't say it's not. I said if it does, it's not going to come back on anything near what we went through. But you could have a mess where they come at the same time. And if they come at the same time, the flu is not the greatest thing in the world, Jeff. It's not the greatest thing either. If they come at the same time, you have them both. But if we have embers of Corona, coupled with the flu, that's not going to be pleasant.
Regardless of what this dude says, corona is the flu. Did you guys know that the flu is a form of a coronavirus? They don't really tell you that. It's not repeated very often, but yeah, it is a well-known, established fact. The flu is a coronavirus.
But it's not going to be what we've gone through in any way, shape, or form, yeah.
If you don't think that it's going to come back at the same severity it is right now, why are you still directing that taxpayer dollars to spend an emergency procurement of ventilators? Tens of thousands.
Because we have to have them for other reasons. Something else could come. I mean, we didn't know about corona. Now we know about corona. But look at what happened. And now we did have the H1N1 swine flu. We had that. We have other things that have happened. We had various forms of flu, but nothing like what we've had here.
Oh, I absolutely love whenever Trump's teleprompter momentarily glitches or it hiccups and he can't keep up with it, so he kind of stutters and sputters, and you know exactly when it happens, basically whenever he's talking. God bless digital technology, huh?
Nothing at all like what we've had here with the virus. But something could happen. I think that the stockpiles, we're making hundreds of thousands of ventilators right now. Nobody writes about that. You know, at the one time, all they talked about was ventilators, right? Because you didn't think it was possible for me to solve that problem. And I solved it, and nobody can believe it. I just spoke to World.
No, I can't believe it. I can't believe that you didn't see that we didn't need that many ventilators. You really, if you actually really meant what you said back in 2015 when you came off that elevator, dude, you really need to really step back the advice you take from all these lizard creatures and actually start listening to some lower level people that have some say in some different things, you know, some knowledge of some different matters. Because the advice you're getting lately is getting sketchier and sketchier, and frankly, I used to follow you closely. I used to have some faith in you, but now I'm really starting to doubt a lot of what you're saying. All right, so you know, either come clean or you know, join the ranks of these lizard people, because I'm losing my patience, dude.
Today, who desperately need ventilators, they said the job you've done, and we're sending 500 to Mexico, then another 500. To France, we're sending some to Spain, we're sending some to Italy. We have them, they're being made by the thousands.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that, and you know damn well why it is. In case you don't, and the possibility, slim of course, but if you don't, here's the clip. Essentially what those articles say, and you can find more info on this on Vincent James, I believe is his name, The Red Elephants. Anyway, he did a whole video about this. But what those articles say is that hospitals are getting a whole bunch of money for people who die because of COVID, quote unquote. And the amount of money they get for being put on ventilators multiplies by like a factor of 4. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think it was like $40-some thousand for each COVID patient that dies on a ventilator. Guys, that's the reason why they want these stupid ventilators mass-produced. So, yeah, and then, it gets even better. It gets even better. Supposedly, there are some people who are screwing with program settings on those ventilators to force too much pressure into the lungs of some of these people, and effectively some of these people are getting suffocated. But that's just conspiracy theory, you know. Don't pay attention to that. No. But yeah, take a look into that. That'll really change your life once you discover the level of deception.
Prime Minister, I went through a lot of different calls today. I won't even tell you, but I can give you a list if you want. But I went through a lot of calls to a lot of leaders. Spoke with Pakistan. They would like to have some ventilators. We're going to get them some ventilators. But they all said to me one thing. It was incredible that you solved the ventilator problem, because that was a big problem. The testing problem, we've done more than any other nation in the world.
Is this the same test that qualifies for the 85% max false positive reading? Or are we talking about a new, improved, different test, which they haven't mentioned up to this point?
Step further. If you added up the testing of every nation in the world, put them together, we've done substantially more than that. You people aren't satisfied. So let's say we had 350 million people in the United States, right? Let's say. And if we gave every one of those people a test 10 times, so we gave 350 people a test 10 times, the fake news media would say Where's the 11th time? He didn't do his job. Trump didn't do his job. Because you have a lot of bad reporting out there. It's very sad. And it's so bad.
That's not true.
Well, you're one of the leaders of the bad reporting.
No, but that's not true.
Okay, let's...
Buttons. Oh. Buttons, 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 buttons. Yep, 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 yep. Oh. Yep, 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 buttons, buttons, buttons. Push button.
All you have to do is push a couple of buttons.
Let's get on to another subject. I wanted that to be cleared up. If you want, we can get onto it later, but I want the Vice President to speak. But you ought to get the news accurately. You ought to write it. If you take a look at what you wrote about the ventilators, and when we became the king of ventilators, we're making different factories all over, ventilators, by the thousands. In fact, Mike got back from Wisconsin. First thing he did, he called up. I said, how's it going? He said, you're not going to believe. He just saw a plant, a factory, where they're making ventilators. I think I can say the words were unbelievable. He said it was unbelievable when he saw the quality of the equipment, the professionalism, a tremendous number of, how many workers would you say were there?
Over 550. They doubled production and are about to triple production.
Nobody...
And you can bet that none of those people were social distancing whenever they were producing those thousands of ventilators. And, yeah, so I call BS.
This could be done. The fake news was very unhappy that it was done. But you guys don't ask me about ventilators anymore.
Who's unhappy that ventilators
everybody,
are being made?
because you never mention it. You never mention it. There's no stories. What a great job we've done with ventilators. We're now supplying ventilators all over the world because no other country could have done what we did. And you should say that's a great story. Instead, you say Trump was slow or slow. We were so fast.
No, I'll tell you what I think. I think you think the American people are slow. I think these big corporations think the American people are slow.
In San Francisco,
Y'all are about to get a big wake-up call from all of us.
Nobody wants to say that. If we didn't, and Dr. Fauci said this, if we didn't close our country to China, we would have been so infected like nobody's ever seen. When you saw the chart.
No, I'll tell you why we closed in the first place. We closed because China held our economy hostage, okay? This is something nobody is saying. All right, remember when Trump went over there in October? He couldn't negotiate a trade deal. Then they started talking about Pig Ebola. Pig Ebola went away. And then suddenly, it was okay. Then he goes back in December. December 12th, he talks about the trade talks. Even President Xi admits that trade talks don't go well. And suddenly they start talking about the coronavirus. All right. Guys, you've all been had, you all been duped. What's happening is that our manufactured goods from China have halted. They're going to halt for over a year and a half. The reason why they locked everything down was to slow the economy so that people didn't notice the shelves going bare or slow the shelves going bare. That's why in some states, governors that were privy, like our friend Whitmer from Michigan, she knew exactly what this was. All right, she wanted to ban the sale of non-essential goods because they're all made in China or some other place abroad, okay? And when the shelves run out and the DCs run out, that's all there is. Now, think of it this way. The American people and their hoarding of toilet paper and hand sanitizer, and that's running out of stock, and how hard hit we were to restock those things in our retail stores. Imagine what's going to happen, guys. The panic that's going to ensue when people realize that pots and pans, clothing, gardening tools, and everything else that's made abroad has run out. That's why Trump went over to India and negotiated trade talks with those people. Okay, he's trying to replace our economy. He's not trying to make made in America. He's trying to make made in India. It's a slow fix and a temporary fix. But guys, you're going to have to go without for a year and a half. That's all I got to say. I'm out.
All you have to do is push a couple of buttons.
Oh, I tried other things.